and welcome to today's video. We are here for episode number 16 of our car profile in GTA. Now, fun fact with these car profiles: all these cars that I've done videos about, saying that they're great cars in the game, all of them before I have sold, and I don't have any of the original cars in our car profile series. So I figured I'd add another car to that list, but one that I have a better chance of keeping. I mean, not that I ever thought that I was going to get rid of the RE7B or the Tyrus, but I did. So this here is the brand new car that came out in GTA, the Progen Itali GTB. Interesting name for the car. Not a big fan of the name. It would have been cool if they called it like Italia, but I guess maybe they didn't want to do that because that's kind of close to a Ferrari. So here we go in the car profiles. If you guys do not know, because the car profiles were a series that I did a good amount of in 2015. We kind of brought them back a little bit in 2016. This is our first car profile of 2017. This being one of the first cars to come out in GTA in 2017. So I think this car is a very, very interesting car. I'm not a big fan of the look of the back of it. Now, if you guys do not know, this is actually the custom version and not the regular version of the car. So this here is the custom one that you upgrade at Benny's. Pull over here, take a look at it. In general, though, get out the car. It does look very, very nice. I really like the front of it. I'm a big fan of the front. I'm not so much a fan of the back of the car. I do like it a little bit more than when I first seen it and when I actually drove it the first time I got the car. Now let's take a quick look at the interior of the car. Of course, what's different about these Benny's cars is that you can sort of customize it how you want. So if you don't want the steering wheel or this dashboard or that, the switches there, the way that the door is and the seats and the roll bars, you can do whatever you want. Now, for fuck's sake. Switch your fucking view, you dumbass. There we go. So I do think that this here is a very fun supercar. Now, I know I've said most of the supercars that I've ever had in this series are really cool cars and one of my favorites. But nothing really has been able to come close to the T20. And this is still a fact here today. The T20 is just such a great supercar to me in GTA. And of course, being based off my favorite supercar ever, it is kind of difficult for me to not think that's my favorite car in the game. Of course, other cars that come close on. I think this one here has potential. Being a McLaren, that definitely always helps out. Not there's been that many McLarens in the game. It's only the third one. The Tyrus is definitely up there, and if I had to rebuy a car, I'd buy the Tyrus. And I actually did have the Zentorno, which I really liked, which I sold like 3 times. So that's that about the car. Now, what I do think that this car lacks in is grip. Now, to be honest, for myself, I like a car without grip. Not without grip, that's a terrible thing. But with a little bit less grip, you go around a corner, the tail comes out a little bit, you slide, you know? You're going everywhere with this car. You gotta master that. not crash. But this car here is a great car for the fact that if you just want to drive around and you want your car to slide, this is the car for you. Holy shit. Rip. But if you just want your car to slide and you feel like you have an opportunity to do some crazy drifting, crazy racing with it, then this is something for you. Now, if you're not really a big fan of your car sliding that much, which I know Case is, and he really wants his car to grip really nice, this probably wouldn't be the car for him.
LJT.
So that's why the Nero was a really good car for him, because that thing does not move. Like, you go around a corner, I really want a car that's light around the corner. Because I'll take a bit more speed, a little bit better turning, like this thing has done the Nero, for the fact that I have to be able to drive the car a little bit better. Because you've seen it got a little bit out there, and I mean, this thing here is not going to be the easiest car to control that you've ever driven, but I definitely enjoy it. And driving a car like this in the game is fun because it's super light. Now, if somebody makes you mad in a game and you want to wreck them, this is not the car to do that. Because it's so light, you can't necessarily wreck people easy with this car. But if you're out here just trying to live, like, I'm just trying to live, bruh. Oh my. That did not go well. Then I think this here is a good car. So overall, in the end, I do believe that if you want to buy a car, that the Progen Itali GTB is a good car for you to buy. In general, it is a fast little car. It's light, but if you don't want a car that's going to slide a lot, not slide a lot, it doesn't slide the most of any car I've ever driven. But if you want a car that's going to have a good amount of grip, this probably isn't the car for you. But if you just want a car in general just to drive and have some fun, then this here is probably a good choice. And do you necessarily have to get upgraded Bennies? To be honest, I don't think so. Unless you want to put liveries and have a little bit more customization, I think the regular Itali GTB is a great car. I obviously drove it before I customized this one. And it was only a couple seconds that I drove the regular version, but oh my. But in general, I do think that it was a fun car to drive just without the customizations. If you don't need to do all that, you don't have to. And it has a fair amount of customizations without doing all the Benny's upgrades. So, if you want to save some money but still have a nice supercar, you can probably spend about 1.3, 1.4 to get this really good. Because with Benny's, you're going to spend about 1.8, 1.9 million. Oh my sweet Lord, baby Jesus. Really? So, yeah, that's my thing about the car. So I'm just going to drive around here for a couple seconds. You guys will get to see how much fun this car really is. Like, I still think that it has a good... It's not the really best moment to start talking about being good. I think going on a corner that would generally has a good amount of grip. Not the most, but not the least. And again, I think in general it is a great car to buy. Now let's see how it does off-roading. It's not even I haven't done with it. Part of me really does want to rebuy the tires, like, I feel like I should just have all the Progen cars. I feel like Progen is just the brand that I really like all the cars from. Obviously, them being McLarens. But I really think that I should get the Tyrus again. Because I've had the T20 since it came out. And then I've had this car since it came out. So I think rebuying that car would be a fun thing to do. The Tyrus is definitely a good supercar as well. So if I had to rate this in Progen supercars, it's difficult. Right, if I had to rate Progen supercars, the T20 is the number one by far. But figuring out what the number 2 and 3, how that sort of gets sorted out between the Itali GTB and Tyrus really is kind of difficult. I feel like the Tyrus just has so many vibes to it that would be my number 2 choice. And actually probably my number 2 choice in supercars. I forgot why I sold it, I really do. I think it was a dumb move by me. But that thing really just had a lot of vibes for a supercar. Like, it felt right, and I think that it has so many aspects that are actually kind of similar to this one. That I can't really tell, but I think the Tyrus is my number 2. So if you had to buy a Progen supercar, the T20 is obviously your number 1 choice. I put the Tyrus second, the Itali GTB third. But if we're talking price-wise, this is the best one for your money. Because you only have to spend... If you just buy the car outright, this thing's 1.1 million. The T20 is 2.2. And I believe the Tyrus is 2.5. So price-wise, this is a good car to get. So if you're starting off, maybe playing GTA, or you haven't bought in the Progen cars, which I highly doubt because the T20, a lot of people won't own that. It's one of the cars you see raced the most. For a while, I don't know anymore. But if you're starting out a Progen collection, this is probably the first car you want to buy. It's cheap enough, and you can decide later on if you want to do the Benny's customization. If you don't have the money right away. So with that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys like the car profiles. They are maybe not necessarily a series that I'm going to do quite that often, but I was kind of like, this car is fun, let's do a video, let's do a car profile about it. And also there was, typically I do 2 GTA videos a week. Obviously not counting streams if a new car comes out or a new DLC. And with Casey not recording this week, not able to record this week, I shouldn't say he's not recording, like, because that makes it sound like it's on purpose. With him not able to record this week, to get our race playlist out there, I wanted to give you guys another GTA video. So I figured, you know what? Let's bring back the car profiles. I was laying there, I'm like, we should bring back car profiles. That'd be fun. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do any other cars on the car profile for a little bit, unless a new car comes out that I find really exciting. But I didn't even do one for the Nero, so I don't know. We will see. We will see. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We'll see you guys in the next one.